And let me get to Cardi B. Cardi B is afraid. And I'm tired of just nobody saying it.
Girl, Cardi B is sick and tired of Joe Budden coming for her on his podcast, and she has sent strong words to him telling him to say positive things about her or keep her name off his mouth in his podcast. Cardi B is dragging Joe Budden after he clowned her of being a single artist that chases cloth with being in album mode. For those that might not be aware, Joe Budden has been a big critic of Cardi B, and he has called her out on different occasions in the last couple of months, and it had mostly due to the quality of music she's putting out or his comments on talks about Cardi B's upcoming album. A few months ago, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion dropped a song titled Bongos, and Joe Budden was a loud critic of the song, calling it a song made by people who can't make a song.
Two of our biggest women rappers in the world on it, talking their normal shit. But I don't think this song is gonna work at all. I hate this song. I don't think this song's gonna work.
What do you hate about it?
It's not better than any of the songs like it.
I'm not gonna lie, Joe was out of pocket with that comment, and I believe there were better ways of registering his displeasure with the song without making them look stupid, because the song was made by two of the biggest female rappers in the game. Responding to the criticism of Bongos, Cardi B went on Twitter Spaces with her fans where she talked about Joe Budden having an issue with her because the number of times she and her song were discussed on his podcast was unhealthy. Listen to what Cardi B had to say.
I just feel like it's like he has an issue with me, and it was beyond the critique of Bongos. It's just like you inviting that said the rudest, nastiest shit. But when what's them niggas they used to do podcasts with?
Oh, Maul.
Maul, and the little other guy.
Yeah, when Ma and Rory say we about you or lies about you, you get so defensive. You want to clear it up. You came at Taxstone because Taxstone said something about you. You want to clear it up, and you expect people to understand you, and you expect people to take your side. But I had to go to court. Because this woman, like, it's beyond saying that I had herpes, right? Like, come on now, like, it's beyond saying I had herpes. Like, this woman tried to run a I drug men campaign. She paid men to say that I them and them. She claimed that my dad.
Cardi B has been teasing fans about her upcoming album for the past couple of months, but fans would have to wait for another year because in a heated exchange with fans on Twitter, she revealed that her album won't be dropping. A fan tweeted at Cardi saying it's time for her to pull back from social media platforms. Her engagement with our fans is unappreciated. Transparency backfires because of her fans' weirdo entitlement. Cardi doesn't have to interact with them, she chooses to, and it's never good enough for them. Cardi then replied the tweet saying, exactly. And I tell myself this all the time, and I hate that I fall back and start interacting again, and it bites me in the A. Anyway, no album this year, I don't care. I'm relaxing this year, dropping these features I already committed to, and traveling and enjoying my summer. Then this fan replied to Cardi's tweet where she said, no album this year. The fan said, she does this to make all fight and y'all fall for it every time. The real tea is the album is nowhere near done, and she's blaming fans for her own incompetence. Now, Cardi wasn't going to allow fans to tell her how she was going to live her life, when and how she was going to drop her album. Cardi replied to the fans saying, yup, it's not done cause there is no album. Congrats, you won a prize for your answer. Here's your prize. Cardi announcing that her album wasn't dropping again this year made her a topic for discussion on Joe Budden's podcast. And if there's one thing we know about Joe Budden, it is he is not scared to say his unfiltered opinions about certain issues. And even though Cardi B dragged him hard on Twitter Spaces for his comments on her song with Megan Thee Stallion, Joe Budden wasn't concerned with Cardi's reaction, and in the new episode of his podcast, he discussed Cardi B's album.
Big Rob on Friday. That's gonna be crazy, but that's what Cardi's about to be now. Just a single artist. You're not getting none of that shit.
I mean, and you was right too. About Atlantic going to put out an album. You was right. So you be right sometimes about them wanting to put out an album. We don't care about none of that shit.
I ain't spoken about Atlantic. I'm just be on a hunch. So you don't want to got some information from somebody. I'm sure somebody involved wants Cardi to put out an album.
What? Yeah, of course they do.
I'm sure Offset wants Cardi to put out an album. Hey, fellas out there, boyfriends, y'all know that feeling, right? When you want your bitch to get a job. You in the house, you just won't leave. She just in there on top of you, on top of everything, not giving you
this space.
Let's cuddle. No.
Yeah, no, get off my arm. My arm sleep. Move, go. Hey, you got an album to do? Don't you got a single? Yeah. Ooh. It's a real elbow room.
Joe Budden revealed that he believes fans will never get another Cardi album again. Joe Budden's co-host, Trevor Queensflip Robinson, said he heard something similar when he visited the Atlantic Records office. "You was right too about Atlantic wanting to put out an album," added Robinson. Budden said that he hasn't heard anything from Atlantic directly though, even if Robinson has. For those that might not be aware, Cardi has yet to release a full-length follow-up to her debut album Invasion of Privacy, which came out in 2018, and there has been a long wait for her to drop her album. The long wait for the album has brought about many rumors, with some fans saying she was an industry plant that was made famous just to rival Nicki Minaj. And how is it that she's this famous and never gone on tour? Some fans even said she's signed a one-album deal with Atlantic, and that is why she drops only singles. Joe Budden, discussing Cardi B on his podcast, got Cardi mad and she tore him apart in a Twitter space with her fans, and this is what she said.
Fuck when people talk about me. It's just the fact that you always talk about me, Joe Budden. You always talk about me. Out of nowhere. You would think I did something to this out of nowhere. For the past 2 years, this only talk bad things about me. Bad things about me. Constantly. Why? Because you got an interview? Really said here in December saying that I got into it with my husband because this ain't my little boyfriend, this ain't my no baby dad, this is a man for 7 years. Oh yeah, she did that for a publicity stunt because this and that dropped. What? Now I'm Cardi B, the always talking about. I want to talk now. I've been giving you 2 years, sparing you for 2 years. Even when I call you out, I don't even disrespect you. You always try me. Always try me.
Cardi then said, she said that TT Torres, the music director at Hot 97, had heard the album. "But you really want my album to come out so you can criticize it?" she said. "Because every time I drop something, you don't like it. Every single time drop something and they doing mediocre, you say they doing better than me?" She also shot down speculation that her public relationship issues with Offset are a publicity stunt. Well, it looks like the album may be coming soon after all. If TT Torres heard the album, this means the album exists after all, and we hope Cardi drops the album. Also, the allegations she made on Twitter Spaces were some heavy allegations, and Joe Budden had to go on Twitter to clear the air on allegations like where she said she gave him a lap dance when he was high on nose candy. Joe Budden tweeted, "I promise you and can assure you, I will not cover a single thing this girl does for the remainder of her career. Peace and love. I have also never gotten a lap dance from this lady. I also have never done nose candy. I really just wanted an album from someone whose music I love." Now it is clear that Cardi is not a fan of Joe Budden, and she can't stand his criticism of her music, or she is not a fan of him waiting for her album. And safe to say, Cardi has lost a fan in Joe Budden. Cardi B coming after Joe Budden after he shades her in public, had fans talking and they left comments saying, "I hate she did this. I'm a Cardi fan. I'm also a Joe Budden fan. He always speaks highly of Cardi. I wish more people listened to his show to at least get some context instead of only reading the headlines or hearing sound bites. Nothing Joe Budden said was wrong. It's a little odd Cardi has been in the game for 7 years with only one album and no tours. Then you look at Megan and Doja Cat, who came after her, and they are on their third albums and headlining tours. It's not dislike. She has to get thicker skin because she has been making singles since her last album 2018. To be honest, that's a long time to wait and drop an album. People are annoyed with her dragging her feet for so long. He's not the only one who thinks that. So, do you think Cardi B was right in putting Joe Budden in his place after his latest comments on her upcoming album? Or do you think Cardi B went too far in checking Joe Budden? Let me know what you think in the comments, then check out this next video.